Okay, it's Domain Dave from CheapWineFinder.com with another review of a wine that we wrote up on the CheapWineFinder.com website, and then we plugged in the microphone, and here we are. And this is maybe a new direction for Trader Joe's. The wine I'm talking about is the $12.99 Trader Joe's Grand Reserve, Santa Barbara County GSM 2022. A GSM is the wine as a blend from the southern Rhone Valley. It's Chateau Neuf du Pape and all those wines do blends. A lot of the main areas in France are blending areas, and this one is 42% Grenache, the G, 39% Syrah, the S, and 19% Mourvedre. It's probably the second most famous wine blend, second only to the Bordeaux wines that blend Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and then some Cabernet Franc, and a couple other grapes, but these are seriously good wines, and the Grenache and Syrah go together. Grenache is sleek and lean. The Syrah can be plump and juicy, and Mourvedre kind of ties it all together. And why I said this just might be a change of pace for what Trader Joe's is doing. One thing that had me confused for the last, a year, is their Fearless Flyers kept the same wines on there forever. It's like, haven't they sold these things off yet? Typically speaking, a wine shop that has wine after the next vintage, they'll in January they'll put wines on sale at half price. And they don't tell you. I mean, it just shows up someday. You got to be lucky. If you're a good customer, they might give you a heads up. But you can find all these wines for half price, just the last year's wines. And I guess that Trader Joe's can't do that because they're already cutting their margins too close. They're just trying to sell everything off, and there hasn't been a lot of new wines. And in the past, Trader Joe's wines have been kind of made by the same old. Not that they were bad. There's a lot of really good producers who make their wines. But here in the back, it says produced by Ace 1542. Now, I couldn't find who Ace 1542 is. They don't have a website. But I did kind of find out in a roundabout way that this is the winemaker for San Lige and Groundworks Wine, which are high-end boutique wines out of Paso Robles in the Central Coast. Their wines start around 30, and they routinely get to 90-plus points. These are solid wines. These are kind of the new wines. These are new. There's a group of winemakers in the Central Coast around Paso Robles, that area, who are kind of the young guns, or not anymore. They're kind of established now of the wine world, and they don't typically do things the old way. They kind of do it the way they want to. And this wine is a Rhone wine, or with the grapes anyway, but they're not tied to making it the old way. They can use any style, any production methods they want. And that's what they're known for. And there's a group of them there. You can go to Tin City if you're ever checking out wines. There's a bunch of them, and there's all high-end wines, all get great scores. And there's a sommelier who's part of this. This isn't from San Lige. This is from a second thing, but the top-notch winemaker. I've got all the links in the website on the page. But it's got, this is a Somma's involved with this wine. A top winemaker's involved. Let me take a sip. Now, San Lige has a GSM that's around $35. I think I got 93 points. And I suspect, because there is no tasting notes for this, that this is made in a similar style, but simpler style. All the things you can do to a $30 wine aren't necessarily in the budget for a $12.99 wine. even though Trader Joe's $12.99 wines might be a wine that is closer to a $20 wine in terms of production because of what they're doing. So I'm just wondering, is Trader Joe's, I want to see this, are they going to be making fewer of these reserve wines, but from top producers, rather than try to hide everything? Because I could find out who Ace 1542 was. It wasn't completely hidden. And sometimes a wine turns out to be no one you really get too excited about is almost impossible to find out. And take another sip. GSM wines are kind of interesting. This is very California. It's not French. Well, it's a little French, but it's Santa Barbara grapes are interesting. The Santa Barbara has a section that kind of juts out in the ocean like a triangle, because it's only about 100 miles north of Los Angeles, and it gets super hot there. But because it's in the section that juts out into the ocean, you got cooling winds on both sides, and then you go up into the mountains. Now, this is Santa Barbara County, so they're not saying where it came from. Actually, Trader Joe's had a Santa Ynez GSM maybe about 5 months ago, which is just a single sub-AVA in the Santa Barbara County, which on the surface might mean it's a higher-end wine, but maybe not, because that was, I think, made, I couldn't tell, by one of the same olds, a good producer, but not anybody who's making expensive wines. Because San Lige doesn't make value-priced wines. They make their wines to sell for what they sell for. So there you go. This is a wine you should check out. This is Domain Dave, cheapwinefighter.com. And we got more wines coming as it heats up. This is a little bit warmer weather wine. This has got a little bit of body to it, but it tastes great. This is a top-notch wine. You would never think it cost $12.99. So there you go. Stay cool, keep it cheap, and I'll be talking to you. Adios, bye-bye.